Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to another Monday evening, and you know what that means, it's TSL Mondays. While you guys are having fun outside, I'll be here getting back or talking with a very controversial figure actually. We'll talk about him later. My name is Bam Jiro. You can call me Bam Bam. The man so good, he named him twice, and I'm here with, like I said, a controversial figure, Adolf Hitler actually.
Hey, wow.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good.
Now you gotta explain this. What are you trying? Why are you trying with this? We're not used to this.
I think I just saw one video and the one Mexican guy just did the and said,
Let me try it.
I can't try it. I just woke up and said I would do it.
Now you put it up, but I was like the only person that I remember doing this is Adolf Hitler. Why are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Please, and the controversy is overblown. I'm not that controversial.
No, I actually meant controversial because of Adolf Hitler.
Oh, this one? Okay. I thought we were going back to the Bellingham thing.
You're welcome again, and This show is brought to you by Johnny Rocket, one of the sweetest places to come and watch football with your friends. They got some of the best burgers and milkshakes in town. Just need to pull up. One experience is enough to get you hooked for life. And also, this is brought to you by KoboBeat, an online gaming system. Before we go into what we have to talk about today, how was your week, man? What's good?
Because it's the week. It's the week exit, but it's a New Year's normal thing, so it's enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And talking about the New Year, there was a new winner in tennis, actually, the Australian Open, and I know you're not happy about it. The truth is that when it happened, I was kind of surprised about the level of, is he 8 now that he got, but I guess when you're too good,
that's the thing.
We're talking about Djokovic, by the way, for those that don't know. You're mixing out, what a performance.
Yeah. So it was a mixed bag for me, first of all, because I'm sad my Dolo lost, but yeah, it's more, I'm kind of happy that someone else took it for at least first Grand Slam of the year. Someone else winning it is a good sign, like at least maybe, who knows, Djokovic can finally rest. Because I won't lie, even if he didn't have to carry it, he has basically carried this spot on his back because every other person was disappointed, from the last gen to the next gen to the next big things. It's always disappointing, but to be honest, I'm mixed bag, yeah. 60% sad, 40% happy that at least somebody won it, and it wasn't just one of guys. It was somebody that was someone is up and coming and looks like a bright spot in the sports, basically. Yeah. To be honest, if I had lost that final, I would have cried because you beat Djokovic only to lose final. That shouldn't happen. So yeah, to be honest, I'm happy we won the final, went all the way.
Well, talking about Djokovic, does this signal an exit? Because I mean, this is the first person to win the Australian Open since the top 3 last date. He's the first Italian since in the 2000s to win it. So does this actually now signal a new age for on the female side? We've seen Serena sign out.
Of course, yes.
A lot of Arena and Coco doing good things there. So we can tell that has kicked off. But can we call this moment the moment where the men's side he actually kicks off?
To be honest, I'll wait for the next 2 Grand Slams. It is a good sign. It might be the just before the end. It might be the second step to the end, but I don't think it's the end yet because Djokovic still played like he had something in him. To be honest, when he started the tournament and he was losing sets. He lost a few sets that were very odd sets. Games he would have rolled over, but was losing. So I was surprised that I felt something was off about him. Now I'm not saying he's injured, trying to give an excuse. Let's be clear. I'm just saying that it was looking like he was not as good as he usually was. He would have steamrolled all those guys he faced earlier. But yeah, so he might be closing towards the time that I might need to go. But right now, I think it's more 50-50. We are not sure, we might be sure. But the next 2 Grand Slams with time, Wimbledon to be specific because that's one of the more open ones. We know Clay, they are specialists there. They are specialists that normally thrive there, but Wimbledon is still more open. So let's see how that one goes before I can make any definitive answer. But as a fan, I'm hoping not. But as a sports lover, I'm thinking 50-50. 50-50, let me just leave it like 50-50.
We've got to speak on Daniel and his performance. He's one of the most unlucky people.
I don't like that word unlucky. No,
why?
He's not unlucky.
The past three slams.
I can't see if something happens one-off, maybe once every while, yeah, maybe you are clearly unlucky. But if it comes consistent,
if you allow it to happen for
that is your problem. it is something you have to focus on, especially the fact that Medvedev was one of the next gens that was supposed to take over after the big three of that time were phasing out a little. I think, okay, Medvedev comes in. I think he beat Djokovic to one of the slams at a point, and then it was, I think, okay, maybe now he's finally going to arrive. Then the next, he just started doing his usual, pardon my French, rubbish after. And then people just lost hope in him. And now it looks like he flattered to deceive basically. And he was leading with 2 sets. I don't know what the man was thinking. Like, how is it possible? You're leading, like, you don't lose that kind of hold on a final. It shows that you're just the guy. You're not just him. You're not him, unfortunately.
All right, we'll be moving away from tennis now. Tennis is the only sport that allows the sinners to win.
Wow,
apparently. But just before we leave, though, I mean, let's talk about Arena too. Amazing performance. She totally dominated that game. Is she the go-to?
With WTA, I don't like to pick any go-to because they will shame you. They are the most inconsistent bunch ever. They are very inconsistent. The only person that could have maybe done them like stamped that would have maybe taken it a while. The Japanese, I keep forgetting her name. I forget her name. Yeah, but then she took a break with the pregnancy and everything. Then she's coming back little by little, but we don't know how good she'll be when she comes back. When she steadies the ship now. But for now, me, I'm a Kokogo fan. I'm just there. My tent is behind her. I'm hoping she hits her stride and just continues because she has wowed me since she has been 16. So, but I don't know. It's just that WTA, I just refuse to say. I can't say anything definitive because they are a very, very weird bunch. You might see the next, it might be going better than she will just do nonsense. You never know. When you hope for the best, especially when you're looking at somebody, is when they will just shame you.
Messing it up.
That's the thing. So WTA, I can't bet on anybody there.
Big shout out to you, Mo. Thank you very much for that. So we're jumping from tennis and going into the African Cup of Nations. I tell you, everybody keeps saying it, but the truth remains that this is actually one of the best.
Yeah.
Not just AFCON, best competition we've watched because everything has been quality, right from the refereeing, the football on play, football on display, and even so.
Organization.
I just want to get from you, get your thought. How do you think we got here? How did we get here from the last one wasn't so good? It was mad with a lot of refereeing.
Errors and all that.
Exactly, but how do we get from there to here? And how do we ensure that we maintain this?
So I have to give it to Cote d'Ivoire with their hosting. I really have to give it to them because I think without them getting their organization right, a lot of things could have gone wrong. The refs, I don't know what they did. I don't know why they are working so well all of a sudden because we know how African refs tend to have. They have the ref that it's not like the ref is far-fetched or maybe imaginary. They've had bad. The one that still wows me from last tournament that they ended the game before the 90th minute after giving extra was just one of those very weird ones. Yeah, so it is. I'm surprised that they got it, but the only I can give kudos to mainly is Cote d'Ivoire and in part CAF. I'll just give CAF because they own the refs, so I can't say it more than that. But I give it to Cote d'Ivoire. They seem to have to plan properly for what they expected what to come. They planned properly. There was not much noise about their planning. They just put their head down, focused, did the job, and went ahead with the planning. Unfortunately, their team seems to want to be disappointed. They are still there, but we don't know how far they will go. They had a disappointing group stage, but let's see how that goes. But yes, on display to the football also has been different. But I think one of the major factors that play into the football is the fact that if you notice among all the other nations, a lot of foreign-based players. They don't have to be big names, but foreign-trained, foreign-based players actually came up for the country. When I saw Gonzalez for Cameroon as a defender, was it Gonzalez or was his name? The guy that Osimhen did his thing against. I think it's Gonzalez. What's his name? I saw it on the Cameroon Gonzalez. But I now know, okay, of course, descent or maybe father, mother or something like that. So yeah, I've noticed that a lot of them are coming back home and I think it's also it's translating to how they play football because they are not the gra kill people kind of thing that we used to see before. So I think it's kind of rubbing off on the other people. So there's more thought to football at this point. Now I don't say the coaches or anything, but I can say for a fact that some of the players, because no matter how much a coach can coach, you simply has to do crazy things despite the coaches they've had.
Sure.
So yeah, the fact that these players are more calmer, they are even putting more thoughts to the football. I think it plays a big part in calling the foreign guys home too. Is helping out a bit.
That doesn't help the view from the home base.
I don't think it should be one or the other. I think it's supposed to spur the home base to actually be better. Now, there are some organizations like, I don't want to call any names, that we totally ignore the home base because they are focusing on the foreign guys. But if you can give them a balance, give both of them an opportunity, there are still some home base guys that come out and still show their work, yeah? And a lot of guys that play in foreign started from the home base place. So there's still quality there. You just have to give them a shot. Like one of our Nigerian goalkeepers is from the MPFL, which was surprising. I don't think anybody really expected it, especially him. I don't think it was really in line recently to get picked, but he got picked. And and our own Christian Woke was actually in the initial 50-man list, which was actually very surprising. I think there just needs to be a little more attention on the local league, and then I'm sure they can match them. It's not one or the other. It should be a balance.
Let's move away from the organization and let's go into the football. So, I mean, the man who was doing it, like one of our people would say, was doing it steady. He couldn't do it in the round of 16. Emiliano Insue. I've been really impressed with how he's performed this tournament so far. He's gotten into the right places, and he just seems to be that man to put the ball in the back of the net. But he couldn't do that against Guinea. What happened?
I will just say one thing. I have no factual back into this, but that's why a striker will always remain a striker. For some reason, there are pressure moments you just have to go to your natural instincts where you don't think too much, you just do what you do normally. As much as he has stepped up, I won't even lie, he has been surprised in the whole tournament and he has stepped up for his country, but I think he just got to a level where he needed somebody that just had that killer method that a goal is what he's going for all the time. A goal is what he doesn't care. He will tear the net. So I think he tried to place the shots. Tear the net. It's like it's a knockout game. You don't care. Let the keeper even push it. It's better for the keeper to even push it to you to give a rebound than to try and place too much and then miss.
His coach was more surprised than everybody in the world.
I saw the face. I was like, what's going on here? Like so. I think it was just too much pressure for the kind of person he was at that point in time. I think it was maybe not a deciding goal. Maybe if there was, maybe they had scored and things were a little more balanced, maybe they were leading, he might be more confident. But the fact that he had to, he was going to give them the lead at that point in time. Unfortunately, the red card happened. They ended up losing late in the game, and it was sad. But yeah, it is what it is.
Guinea took out their brothers, Equatorial Guinea. Let's move to one of the most entertaining teams from this round of 16 so far. That's to be Angola against Namibia. Brilliant football. That finish was. He made everybody go crazy.
That tech is not from here.
He bent his body well.
He's not from here.
He said, "This is what I'm going to do," and he did it.
And he did it. And he hit it the right way.
How exciting are those two up front, Gelsindala and Mabuludu? Step away, Shabalala, by the way. We have a new name now.
I can't even pronounce it. I'll just leave it for it to pronounce. Yeah, the partnership is exciting for Angola. But again, we've seen things like this before. I don't want to read too much into it. But for what they want to do, for what they're doing at AFCON, is great for them. And I think their coach really knows what he's doing. Now, this is the thing. There's one thing that plays in football. Is either you have raw talent to help you do your thing, or you tactically fit the people you have to make something work. And I think that's what Angola is doing. That CAF is trying to make sure he's putting the right pieces in the right place. Now, they might not be the top notch, but as long as you can do the basics, the average, you get it in moving. There was one true pass for the first goal he scored out. It was defense. I don't want to know how to call it. It just went. It was an unexpected pass, but even though I was still blame the defense that slept off a bit. But yeah, the pass, the one for the first goal that the guy then caught back. Yeah, it was crazy, and you could see that it's something that they practice over and over. Like those kind of things are just, except you're someone that is naturally gifted, it doesn't just come to you. Practice, run it over and over again. Those kind of things. So constant. I think it's just constant training and constant routine over their sequences that's got them to this level. Now, will they take them far? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything.
Say something.
I don't want to say anything. They're facing Nigeria. And the fear of Osimhen is the beginning of wisdom. That's all I would say.
If you missed that first part, we spoke about tennis, the only sport that allows sinners to reach the glory of that sport. And also we touched a little bit about the African Cup of Nations. Like earlier said, this is brought to you by Johnny Rocket, the home of the best burgers in the land, and also Kobo Bead. Talking about Kobo Bead, I know you've played Kobo Bead a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about it. What's the game like to you? It's
basically like FPL, but actually there's a there's a little more. It's easier than FPL because you actually can pick the team after you send lineups.
Yeah.
But then again, that makes it riskier because you now think you actually pick the right people and then you are playing yourself. It's actually very interesting. And you have to put a little more thought into it. It's not just some randomized. Okay, you can't even copy someone's own to do it because you never know.
You never know.
You never know. But it's pretty simple, very straightforward. It's like FPL, and then you just put in your bid and then you get your payback. When you win.
You've gotten a couple of paybacks, haven't you?
Yeah. I got initially, but then I played myself this last time. I never seen ruins me, but yeah, unfortunately, we move,
definitely. Talking about someone who has gotten his payback, talk about Jose Peseiro. And the truth is, when the tournament started, you could have said, what are you doing? Nigeria isn't playing good football despite the area of talents we have. But in the quarterfinals now, only one goal conceded. How is he looking to you now?
My thoughts on him have not changed personally. Now I'm not to give due to due is due. I just said due like what due is due, yeah. But my main problem is this. I'm not a person that focuses on the end just finding it. I like to see the process. I like to see how it is done. I like you to have an optimal process to actually execute what you are planning. And for now, it seems like you're just trying to get the result and move on, which is good for cup runs and obviously working for the national team currently in the AFCON. Yeah. And he's getting results, so I have to give him his praise. Okay, he's doing well enough to get us results because the results are what matter at the end of the day, and we want to win the tournament. That's the main thing. But what's my problem is he papers over the cracks, and it gives people that actually don't have solid plans more leeway to waste our time. Personally, even if he wins the AFCON, I would do what might have been the initial plan and let him go. Then focus on actually rebuilding the team properly, give us enough time to before the next World Cup and work things out.
Yeah.
But as we all know, if he wins the AFCON, he's going to be there till the next World Cup at least, which won't help us because we've seen what he has done when there was no tournament in play, and we've seen the kind of horrible football we played. It reminds me of those managers that can do cup wins but not manage the league win well, because you have to actually put proper plans in place. I don't want to name names. The person that's coming to my head is different now, but let's just leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'll give him praise. He's doing well, but then in the long run, I still think it's on. We have to look for somebody else. It's not my cup of tea.
Okay. Well, someone that definitely is your cup of tea, because you mentioned him before we went on the break. Osimhen. He seemed to have deferred opinion with his performance so far, but nobody could question his tenacity, and especially in getting that first assist for the first goal. What are your thoughts as regards to Osimhen?
So I follow Serie A a lot, so I've watched Osimhen countless times, and people don't understand that the most important part of Osimhen is not just his goals. He scores, he can score a lot, but the biggest part of Osimhen is the fact that you can leave him alone to do everything in the box. Just leave him there to be disturbing. You can do everything you want to do outside and plan all your other parts of your team. Just leave Osimhen there. He will occupy anybody. He's aggressive. He can press. He doesn't agree, and he can run from morning till night. Which is why I don't like to talk about, because it's easy to reduce things to just goals. He has goals. He missed quite a few chances, yes, but the importance in those games, the reason why Peseiro's tactic is working so well, and people might not believe people, it's because of Osimhen. It's because Osimhen can just be a nuisance in the defense. That's why he can just be doing long balls and just find Osimhen. Imagine we didn't have an Osimhen. We had somebody else that had to be a little more tactical. We would not be able to work because we would not be able to score. We'll just be held back, and then things will just push us back. Maybe have 2 counters in the game, and then if we don't have anybody that can finish up, we go back to square one. That's the thing. So Osimhen is too key for us. He has divided opinion here. That's for them to think, but that's because they don't follow him. I've seen what he has done to defenders in Serie A. I've seen enough of so he doesn't even have to score in a game to impact a game, and that's how important he is to everybody.
Well said. Nigeria did win Cameroon, their fierce rivals, 2 goals to nil. Ademola Lookman taking that one for Nigeria. And finally, I think one of the biggest shocks was Egypt heading out to DR Congo on penalty shootout. Gabaski, who was one of their main men last AFCON, was the one that actually messed them up this time around. Egypt has really been struggling to recreate the good times of the past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you think Salah's absence would have done anything different?
To be honest, not really. Maybe because the main problem with Salah is how we operate in the Egyptian team. He's their everything man. when he's on the pitch, they focus a lot on him, and it's because they focus a lot on him, attention focuses on him. It ignores the absolute lack of quality of everywhere else. That team is full of very average players. Yeah, one of their biggest stars is Trezeguet, and doesn't even start now. Trezeguet, that we knew Trezeguet could not even hack it well in Premier League. He had relegated a few times, championship level. The quality is sorely lacking. What they would have done, they had gone the Angola route and actually built a tactical team to fit what they have to play well. Maybe it would have worked out. But they didn't do that, and they just hoped Salah would do something. Salah, as long as Salah is a main man on his own, he actually needs a few things to work also for him to find out to be actually fully effective. Like in Liverpool, he's not the one bothered with. He creates, but he knows that everybody's doing their own thing, so he's just trying to get there, score, create, and do his own thing. But you can't say, okay, is Salah or nothing. I think that's the main thing they are facing. But their exit is not really shocking given how they started the group. They shouldn't even be here in the first day given how they played in the group stages. So yeah, I mean, I won't say it was shocking to me though.
All right, fair enough. Finally, we'll just talk about one game that's coming up later today, and that's Ivory Coast versus Senegal. Ivory Coast thought they were out, but I mean, when they were paired with Senegal, people said
now they know they're out.
How do you see that game going?
I see Senegal has been very clinical this whole tournament. They've done the job. Now some people might say that they are not playing special football and all that, but at the end of the day, you don't have to strain yourself and play the best football as long as you can get the job done. Now, I'm not saying they're playing bad football. They're playing good football, but they are basically in gear 2. They've not done anything like you've not seen a football. Mane has not even been the Mane we know. He has just done his part, and so it's like they're just cruising. And I think they will still cruise today, unless Cote d'Ivoire go defensive, it doesn't change much, but still, they will still cruise today, and I expect them to just walk past. They might not, I think they will not strain themselves too much because they'll be saving for the other parts of the tournament, but easy at least 2 goals win by 2 goals. They're winning by at least 2 goals in my opinion.
I agree with you. I think Senegal will win by 2-1 as well. And so leaving the African Cup of Nations, we'll be wrapping up today in the Serie A. Mololoa is a Serie A enthusiast. Just before we even go, I know we've had this conversation before, but I want to relive it. Why did you pick the Italian League again as your specialty?
Okay, so the Italian League, it was actually accidental. I've been supporting them for a while. I actually went across a few teams. I liked Juve at a point, liked Roma even though they are my main opposition now with the team I support. I liked them because I liked Totti. I know there was just an appeal. It was different from their style was always different from everybody else. You had the tiki-taka, the passing on the Spanish league. You had the aggression of the Premier League and the tenacity. But Serie A had the blend of everything. If you wanted the one that goes, you see, if you wanted technical, there are people that had it there. It had a bit of everything for me, and then it was one of the craziest back then. So that was the appeal more or less.
All right, brilliantly said. Just 2 talking points from it. I'm going to talk about Dusan Vlahovic. Is Juventus' career didn't really start as much as expected, but is he seeming to get back to that man that we saw Fiorentina banging?
Oh yes, and I like the fact that now he's not even banging just any goals. He's banging in goals that people thought he couldn't bang it because they're following him and Fox in the box, all those
scoring free kicks.
See, if you watch the guy, you know there's talent there. There's ball in his body. The problem I think is just adjusting to life, and having Allegri as his coach has been limiting quite a bit because even Juve did not score a lot of goals last season. This season, he seems to be finding his feet back, and things are looking very good for him. And I think he's going to go for that this season. Now, I don't want to back him to win the Oscar because that man called Martinez is just doing everything. I don't know, but but he's going to be up there, and I think he's getting back to his best. Now, will he leave Juve after this? Who knows? Because, of course, Juve need more those kind of things that come. But for now, I think he's getting back to his best, and we have not seen the best yet. He's getting back to it.
Brilliantly said. We'll go from one good striker to one that definitely is the man of this season, Lautaro Martinez. He scored again with his head, and you're talking about people that score different goals. Is Martinez currently I'm trying to find the right word so I don't.
No, just say what you want to say.
You know when we talk about Aguero is a player or a striker that can score from any point, from different points.
Yeah.
Is Lautaro Martinez that man now in world football today?
See, the problem with Martinez with me, he has the ability. The ability is there. The problem has always been execution. We saw him with Argentina when he failed a few times.
Why is everybody only using that Argentina?
No. I've seen him frustrated.
I won't lie to you. I didn't like what I saw at Argentina as well. But I feel a lot of people are just using that.
So me, I use Argentina because I've seen that's where a lot of people have seen, and I can at least explain from that for their point of view. I've watched him a bit in Inter, and one thing I noticed about Martinez is that without a striking partner, he tends to mess up a lot. He's not the guy you leave there to do the whole job.
Then why don't you always put him with another striker?
That's the thing. Not everybody does that because not every team can afford that. For example, the Argentina players, they can't afford that. They have too many talents and other things to be doing two strikers, yeah?
True.
But for Inter, it works best, and he has a coach that knows how to work with two strikers that has done it all his life in I keep forgetting, Inzaghi Jare.
Yeah.
So my former manager, I forgot his name because he left us and I'm paying for. Yeah, that's by the way. Yeah, so it has worked with a striking partner. Now, Thuram coming in, so the way Martinez works is what I was hoping we would do with Lookman and Osimhen in Nigeria. Basically, you have the person that is bigger, that might draw a lot of attention, but then you leave the smaller guy that can run into space and do as he like because he has a lot of freedom, which is what Lookman does in Atlanta. He runs in and out the striker, their medium striking partnership, and then he does roll in and around the striker. It's what basically Martinez does. He has a lot of energy to run around, can do, and so he appears anywhere. You can't follow him because you're more focused on the guy that is more or less mobile to an extent, and then he just does his thing. He's a major damage as long as you have a proper partner with him that can help him out. He will damage anything. Now, he's more or less the hottest striker in the world right now since Haaland has fallen off temporarily. Don't let's say follow. Yeah, so he's the hottest striker right now, and I have to give it to him. He's that guy, but I don't think anybody should make the mistake of buying him as a lone striker. That would be a big mistake.
Brilliantly said. Just to wrap up, Inter currently leading 1 point, although they have a game in hand against Juventus. It's looking to be a feisty battle. What do you think edges it?
Inter is winning.
Ooh, certain.
Inter is winning because Juve, as much as they've been looking up, they are still not there yet. Inter has way more stability, and they have a coach that's had maybe a longer time to forge what he wants, and has found a way. He's a coach that normally knows how to use the best people in their best position. He can have a team full of average guys, but still know how to pick it properly and right time, rotate properly, use guys properly and everything. Inzaghi is good at that. So I think he's more stable than Allegri with his current Juve team, and yeah, they will win it, in my opinion.
Thank you very much, Olua. It's been a great session talking with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, there you have it. We'll be doing more of this one-on-one sessions with some of the best sports minds in the country. My name is Bam Jojo again, and this is TSL Mondays. Don't forget, this was brought to you by Johnny Rocket and Kobo Beat. Thank you very much. Till next time.